Good afternoon and welcome to the St. Croix Christian Center's first installment of Heritage Moments. My name is Darren McCabe and today we're going to give you a brief history of the property we know as the Ganong Nature Park. So come on, join us. So here at Ganong Nature Park, in its very early days, going back over 200 years ago, it was known as Oak Point. In 1791, the property was granted by the king to a loyalist by the name of Benjamin Bradford. It stayed in the Bradford family for a number of years, and then it was purchased again by a number of new landowners. And then moving forward about 100 years, in 1895, the property was purchased by William Todd and John Frost. And they undertook an operation called what became to be known as the St. Croix Stock Farm. And the St. Croix Stock Farm was actually basically was a horse operation. They had up to 130 horses at one time. They had 3 stables. One of them was actually made out of brick and mahogany and hardwood oiled walls. They spared no expense. So this is the area where you normally see the main events during the fall fair. But back 130 years ago, this was a large clay racetrack, which was actually the racetrack which William Todd had imported from Scotland and actually had it handmade right here. The pivotal moment for the St. Croix Stock Farm came in 1896 when a huge fire broke out in the stables. And during that fire, and it'd be in these stables right here, it destroyed the main stables, and it also killed 35 horses. And it was on that day, right here in this location, that the St. Croix Stock Farm came to a close. The bricks of the stables were sold to Gilbert Ganong for the expansion of his candy factory in St. Stephen. And that was 1896, spelt the end of the stock farm here at Todd's Point. So we can tell we're in the original stable because at the bottom of the foundation of that brick stable are still, from 1896, are still the bricks that they used to build the original stable. And thereon after, it was still used by a lot of the community folks for gatherings and for jamborees and the such, but from there on, that's about the extent of its usage under William Todd. And it was 1951 when William Todd's widow, Ethel, sold the property to Whidden Ganong. So after Eleanor and Whidden purchased the property, they undertook the operation to create a fruit and vegetable farm, if you will. They planted a lot of apple trees, they planted a lot of vegetable gardens and various types of fruit such as raspberries, and it was quite an operation. And to this day, when you're walking down through, you can see that legacy of Whidden and Eleanor's as you look around and see all the apple trees that are now gone wild, but they're still there, and people still pick the apples when they're coming to the Ganong Nature Park. In the fall, they had a crew that would come down. The caretaker was Billy Richardson, and in the fall, his family would come down and join him during the harvest season, and they would sell those fruits and vegetables in town to the local grocers. And that operation went on for right around 40 years. And as Eleanor had passed away, and as Whidden was getting on in age, he wanted to protect the property and to see that it still had an opportunity for the public to enjoy it. So he approached the St. Croix Estuary Project with a proposal that, and he actually willed it to the St. Croix Estuary Project, if they were able to raise a modest sum to purchase a property and to guarantee that it was going to become a nature and marine park, preserve, if you will, then they would have kind of first dibs on the property. And they took up the challenge and they undertook it, and they raised the money, And this is what we have here today, is the Ganong Nature Park. Now the Ganong Nature Park has its own board of directors and has a few staff and students. And this is what is the legacy of Whidden and Eleanor Ganong. However, the legacy of the park goes way back, all the way back to a loyalist that was granted the property in 1791. And we are the legacy of all those people.